As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
All right, we are live. Crunch Time Sports, post-game show, Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears. Caleb, the Lions put up a 50 burger on the Bears. All right, and based off last week's performance, I would think that no one would suspect this to happen, but it did happen. And I think every bet placed in this game, whether it was touchdown scores, yards, smacked today on the Lions. Jared Goff played his absolute. He might have. I have to say I think one of his best games as a Lion. Today.
Absolutely, yes,
easily. 300 and something yards. They get 5 total incompletions, 5 passing touchdowns, ties his career high, and I think his last 17 passing 17 attempts were completed. Like it was 17 straight in a row. Might have been 18 because Amon-Ra ended up scoring 2. But anyway, it was a lot. Jared Goff was damn near perfect. Amon-Ra had a huge first half, big second half, had 3 total touchdowns. Jahmyr Gibbs got hot late. The run game looked the way it was supposed to look in week 1. They were able to run the ball. The O-line protected Jared Goff, giving him time. You saw the big plays that Johnny Moe was talking about, 2 big ones to J-Mo, a couple pushing down. You push down the field to Isaac Tesla, one-hand catch. The offense, we'll start with them. This is how you respond after last week.
Jeff, I mean, you just break everything down. Let's look at this right here. So on 4th down, they were 1 for 1. In the red zone, they were 6 for 7. They averaged 8 yards or 9 yards per play and 6 yards per rush. I mean, this Detroit Lions offense was firing on all cylinders today. And like you said, I mean, what a great response after last week. And the biggest shout out, I think, for me is the offensive line, a person that or a group that myself included questioned a lot after week 1, especially with the 2 young guards. It was, how are they going to respond after this? How is Graham Glasgow going to respond after this, after a poor game last week? And I mean, they played phenomenal. Jared Goff threw out of a lot of clean pockets today. The run game looked really good. They had a lot of explosive plays, obviously a couple to Jameson Williams, and Jahmyr Gibbs had a couple long runs, and that all starts with good protection. So, I mean, just a phenomenal job all around. Johnny Moe, Jared Goff, the running back groups, the wide receivers, offensive line, everyone, just a phenomenal performance by the Detroit Lions. Perfect way to respond after not a great performance in week 1.
And the context, you had Ben Johnson coming back to Detroit.
Yep.
You saw the scripted plays from the Bears early on. They had some success. But you know what? If you're Johnny Moe, I know he doesn't care about this, but way to make a statement against the former Lions OC. It's like, hey, man, I can cook up some plays too with these guys. All right. And we're doing it without Frank Ragnow, which I think is really impressive. I thought all the guys up front played really well today, which that's the big thing to take away. They were able to, the way they were able to run the ball, protect Goff, night and day difference from last week. And I know it's the Bears, and the Bears are probably going to be last in the division. So you take it with somewhat of a grain of salt, just in terms of the bounce back I'm going to evaluate, because you're going into Baltimore next week. The Baltimore Ravens just beat the brakes off another bad team. Actually, worse team than the Bears and the Browns. Divisional opponent. They beat them up. This is the confidence you need going into next Monday night against the Ravens in Baltimore. This is everything's going in. Everyone's happy. The vibes are high. Offensive line's confident. That's exactly what you want. That's exactly what you want.
Yeah, it is. And Jeff, I said it before the game, and this was as close of a must. No, don't. Come on, Boone. Oh, dude. I mean, and look, we had how many? We had 15 Kool-Aid chugs last year.
Yeah.
This might be the stinkiest and wet he's ever been after one.
Yeah, the video might not be as good.
But I mean,
he's rusty though.
No, he's rusty. He's rusty, but we'll get into it. I think we have a lot more Lions W's in our future. But Jeff, I said it before the game, like, this is as close of a must-win as a week 2 matchup can be, especially going on the road to Baltimore this next week. And what they did offensively is perfect because you got everybody going. You got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the end zone twice. You got Jameson Williams 100 yards after a 20-yard performance last week. You got Gibbs 100 yards all-purpose. You got Monty in the end zone. You got Jared Goff 5 touchdowns. I mean, the confidence they're going to have going into Baltimore next week, I'm way more confident in that game now as I was, we'll even call it 24 hours ago.
Yeah, the defense today played they played significantly better. I thought the first half there were some slip-ups, especially the first drive. But as the game settled in, I thought Kelvin and the defense as a whole were just absolutely dialed in. There were some missed assignments, miscommunications, but then that stuff was quickly corrected. You saw the sacks come in kind of in bunches later where, you had Davenport get hurt on a sack. It looked like he relatively all right. I don't have an update yet. AQM got a sack. Aiden Hutchinson got a sack. You had the interception by Kirby Joseph, forced fumble by Brian Branch, the Bears turnover on downs, I think multiple times. You had a dropped interception from Taron Arnold, another interception from Taron Arnold called back because of a Brian Branch penalty, and then Brian Branch went down. I don't have a update on that either. I thought the defense. Now, like I said before, every performance we're looking at and reacting to week to week. Do we think the Bears are a good team? No, I think they're fine. They're a fine team. But you still have to give them credit for how they responded from last week. Like, this is like they could have easily beat the Bears by 3 points, and we'd be sitting here going, oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
They beat them. They dropped a 50 bomb on the Bears. Like, we have to be like, that's what good teams do. That's what the Lions team did to the Jags, the Titans, these inferior teams that are just not on your level. This is what you're supposed to do, and they did that. It wasn't, again, would we be having a different conversation if they won by 3 points? We'd still be saying, you know what, you won the game. They beat them by, 20-something points? I mean, they beat them by, basically 30. I think 30 points they beat them by. Come on. So the defense played really good today. I thought both coordinators, significant improvements from last week.
Yeah.
Significant improvements.
Yeah, I thought.
And I get they're playing the Bears, but it's still improvement from a coaching perspective. Less miscommunication, stuff like that.
I mean, the biggest thing, Jeff, is creating those turnovers. I mean, that's something they didn't do last week. They didn't force one turnover last week, but you get the forced fumble out of Brian Branch. You get the Kirby Joseph interception, a couple fourth down stops, a couple huge fourth down stops. May I add, especially the one where they tried to QB sneak with Caleb Williams twice in a row, and we stuffed them. I mean, it was a lot of kind of the same thing. It was bend don't break. The Bears had a couple chunk plays and the Lions didn't fall straight on their face. They, like I said, a couple fourth down stops and everything. So I thought the defense looked great. And yeah, the pass rush did come alive at the end of the game. We saw Hutch get one. That was a super cool moment when he got that sack, got a standing O at the end of the game. Boone won his parlay on that Hutch sack. So, yep. I mean, it was really good to see. Just a fantastic, just a fantastic game by the Detroit Lions overall. And like I said, Jeff, I know Baltimore's a really good team, but I am much more. I mean, I'm feeling good kind of going into Baltimore now.
You should. Yeah. Yeah, you should, because you look like the contender we thought they were, at least in this single game. They did. And week one, whether you want to forget about it or you don't, it doesn't really matter. They did not play well at all. Now, the Bears, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. They did, again, what a contender does, which is beat the brakes off a bad team. And that's why, I'm going to give them credit. I know it's all streams only on there. Like, Jeff's already convinced by a win over the Bears. No, it's not about being convinced. It's about giving them credit where it's due. Like, they beat the shit out of an inferior team.
One thing we said, too, is
credit to them. And
it like you said, like, they could have came out here and won by 3.
Right.
It's not that they won, which obviously you're going to be happy with them win anyway against a divisional opponent. It's about how they won. I mean, they put up a 50-burger and created 3 turnovers and only gave up, 21 points to one of the best offensive minds in football. It's how they won.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just because of a win. It's how they got the win. I mean, they looked phenomenal. They looked like the Lions of old. They looked like last year's Detroit Lions.
They did. And I'll say offensively, to kind of get into it, more motions, a lot more motion today. I know they had a lot of play action early, which people were like, get back to the run. They did get back to the run. I think that's where it was getting a little crazy because they were getting too play action happy, but they got back to the run, and that was successful with Montgomery. And you kind of saw, again, the Sonic Knuckles duo thrive again. And that's credit to the O-line because they played really well today as well. So, the Lions got back to what they do. And whether John Macaroon asking about motion ignited it or not, it happened today. A lot of there was 4 or 5 plays in a row with motion. And I'm like, this is what you typically see with Lions. And I know they were on the road last week, so it does factor a little bit. But they had little to no motion at all. So this week, Johnny Moe talked about it. I want to simplify things, make guys play fast, and they played really fast. Actually, maybe you should just keep simplifying things, Johnny Moe, because they put up a 50-burger playing that way. So maybe it's better.
And this is a discussion we had earlier in the week. It just seemed like there was more like with the motions and everything, just more creativity in the offense. And I think stuff like that really helps out your run game with all those motions because it manipulates the linebackers. And once you could do that, and I mean, that's when you could take those deep shots to Jameson Williams. But I mean, Johnny Moe, shout out. I mean, I gave you a.
Do you think you should be on the sideline?
That's a discussion
we'll talk about it later. No, I'm just kidding.
If they drop 14 points against Baltimore, I might be on the side. He might have to come on the sideline again. But look, Johnny Moe is a guy that I gave a lot of shit. A lot of people gave a lot of shit after last week. But he just came in and you couldn't have asked for a better response from him and that entire unit. I mean, a 50-burger, guys. Let's just think. I mean, this is why the NFL is so beautiful. This storyline. The Detroit Lions lose their offensive coordinator and Ben Johnson, who's one of the best offensive minds in the league. And the storyline is Jared Goff going to be able to perform without a guy like Ben Johnson? And they go in, and Ben Johnson comes back to Ford Field. We drop a 50-burger on him, and Jared Goff throws 5 touchdowns. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. I mean, that's what they make movies about, Jeff.
Yeah.
I mean, what a performance.
It's like a WWE style storyline, and they ended up they destroyed Ben Johnson's team, and he just had the same facial expression the entire game. Just.
What do you think the conversation was at the end of the game where Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson went up to shake hands? What do you think it was? Do you think Dan Campbell was like, "Gotcha"?
I bet Dan gave him one of these. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, don't do that.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's how you assert dominance. He goes at the bench, pulls him in, and he goes, "Enjoy Chicago, man."
We'll see you again.
Then he hits. Pats him on the head.
That's twice a year, bud. That's twice a year.
That's twice a year, bud. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Gave him a nice firm handshake. Told him, catch you next season because this later game in Chicago ain't gonna matter. Promise you that. Oh,
from last year, you could. It's too late at this point. Let's just get a couple tweets out.
Boone post Kool-Aid chug.
Oh wow, yeah. How are we doing? I mean, I look a little shooken up there. That was definitely. I'll say this. First off, unbelievable that we're back. Like the Lions are in the win column since last year, since the Minnesota Vikings game. Last week was kind of tough. So thank God we are back in the winning column. And I think the way they did it today was like I expected them to dominate, but I felt like today was more dominant than. Like, even defensively, I know they gave up 21 points, but defensively, like, essentially 4 turnovers because you had 2 turnovers on down, a forced fumble, an interception. TA almost had an interception. Well, he did have an interception. It just got called back from a penalty. So, like, the defense was kind of at that level as well. Offensively, to put up a 50-burger, I don't care, and I know this is how it's going to be. I don't know if you boys have been looking at the comments. Have you guys seen the comments or anything yet?
Not really.
Okay, my guess is a lot of people are gonna be like, "Well, it was the Bears." Like, it's the NFL. Like, if you put a 50-burger up on anyone in the NFL,
yeah. Well, you said if you win by 3, they'll say it's the Bears. Why didn't you win by more?
Like, you need to give them their credit where it's due. John Morton, I think John Morton bounced back big time, and I think today, what did I say, Jeff? I know they didn't really establish the run, but you could definitely tell, like with today, you needed them to at least kind of get back in the rhythm of things to see if it was the same offense. That's just outside of like the hook and ladders that they did last year and the trick plays. That was the offense we saw last year, like explosive, and not just like, oh, this is a good offense. It's an explosive offense, like dominant offense. And that's a defense too. The Bears defense, that's a defense that had Jalen Johnson back that essentially last week, like how many points did the Vikings put up on them? You know what I mean? Like their defense didn't look like trash last week.
The first half they looked good.
Yeah.
In the second half,
I mean, it's not like it's the worst defense in the NFL. It's a capable defense, and it's up against Dennis Allen, which all week everyone was just sitting there being like, "Oh, Dennis Allen this, Dennis Allen that, Dennis Allen this." Now what? Like they dominated offensively, 50 points, and that was they took the starters out in the fourth quarter. and scored 50. They would have put 70 up on them.
Yeah.
And that was also with turnovers. Multiple times they had turnovers, and they didn't convert on short fields. So it's like that this offense dominated, and I think this should show. I know a lot of people were saying Lions aren't going to make the playoffs, this, that. This Lions team's right back there. And there were a lot of people like Peter Schrager taking victory laps after week 1, being like, yeah, I called them not to make the playoffs in week 1. Guess what? You now how do you look? And I love Schrags too, man. Schrags is good.
Yeah, the victory lapping after week 1 was great. No, we were listening. I mean, you're exactly right. And you say that we didn't establish run, which it didn't even like seem like it that much because we didn't get those 4 or 5 yards of pop, but they ran for 177 yards on the ground. And it didn't even feel like that. And because we're getting those explosives.
Yeah.
And you're getting those explosives because, like I said, like when the O-line is doing what they're supposed to do, that's when you can hit on those big plays. That's where you get the 41-yard run out of Jahmyr Gibbs. That's where you get the 60-yard touchdown out of Jameis Williams or whatever it was. Like, and I'm going to look at some more stats here, but Jared Goff didn't get sacked once. I think we averaged 6 yards a carry.
Looked good.
I mean, the O-line looked phenomenal.
And that's not, I don't think, a bad D-line you went up against. Like,
no, they're not bad. They're not a bad D-line. And honestly, like you were saying about the chunk plays in the run game, that's what they did so often last year. So that's the strength of this team, man. They're a run-first team, and the threat of how great they are running the ball opens up the pass game, and that's what happened today.
Yep.
Because they're running the ball well. Bears are biting on play action. J-Mo down the, J-Mo, 65 yards?
Yeah, what did he have? 2 catches for 100 yards? That's
Isaac Tesla, 40-something yards.
I mean,
Amon-Ra, 35 yards. It's like they get these chunk plays, man. It's like, and then you have Jahmyr. Oh, yeah. By the way, 30-something yard run. It's like explosives. It's like what Ben always says. I like explosives. Remember he said that?
But that's the thing, too. Like, with Ben,
but that's just offense.
It is. But, like, this is the part, like, last week. It's like you have the weapons to do it. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs is an explosive player. Even D-Mont, explosive player at times. Amon-Ra. J-Mo is like one of the most explosive. Him and Gibbs are one of the most explosive players in the league, and they're on the same team. So you have all of those guys. This is what your offense is supposed to look like. It does actually. Actually, like what today showed me, and kind of a little concerning, is how good that Packers defense actually is.
Yeah,
because that Packers defense, they were,
legit.
and then they did it again in week 2. And they did it on Thursday night versus who did they play? The Commanders. And they stopped Jaden Daniels. So, like, that's the more concerning part to me, is that Packers. And when you play them the next time, I think it's Thanksgiving, you better be ready to go versus the Packers. And they have to be able to put on some type of show. They can't, especially it's at Ford Field, Thanksgiving. You can't let what happened week 1 versus that team. But I think, and 2, I think I heard you guys say it. I'm very confident right now going into Monday Night Football versus the Ravens. I am. And it makes me feel a little bit better because before it was like, you're not winning that football game. At least now you can go in there and compete.
Yeah.
Definitely. And if Lamar Jackson gives you fits, right, at least your offense is going to probably try and, hopefully keep you in that game to at least have a chance at the end.
Yeah, and the thing with the Ravens game is it's on the road, so it's a good test again for this offense because they handled the road communication terribly. They'll get another opportunity. Yeah. It's like you're on the road again. It's going to be loud. You're going to have to, silent count. Don't make things overcomplicated, kind of like what Johnny Mo did at home, even though, at home you don't have to worry about the noise as much on offense. So, yeah. It's going to be a good test for them. The Ravens are a legit contender. It's like this is the Bears. They looked like a legit contender against the Bears. Now you get to face a contender and the Ravens. It'll be good for them. Good measurement.
But I think this is the best test you could have for a team like this after a win like that. Is playing a Super Bowl contender on the road on Monday Night Football.
Russell Wilson has 450 yards.
What
and
a
3
game,
touchdowns.
by the way.
That's unreal.
After people wanted him bench too.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boone, I totally agree. I'm feeling definitely way more confident than I was, but I wouldn't say super confident because Baltimore's a great team, but
I am interested.
But, feeling good.
I'm very interested in.
Oh my goodness!
Serial pick.
Rossi.
Why he threw that?
He's just being greedy.
I'm just interested to see this defense versus Lamar. That's one of my and Derrick Henry, like your run defense, and then obviously Lamar Jackson. That's going to be a test. And you're going to kind of see where you're at with the defense as well.
Yeah, the defense, we were talking about it today. I thought the defensive line, they got after. You saw late, too, the sacks start to pile up. Aiden, Marcus, AQM. But overall, I mean, that defense, man, that's what you've been kind of expecting. They blitz a lot. It didn't work early, but as the game went on, you could tell it just wore the Bears out. The run defense was pretty solid. I mean, what did DeAndre Swift rush for today?
I think he had he had 63 yards, 5.5 yards a carry.
Because I was gonna say it seemed like the run defense had some bad ones for sure today. The
Which
run
is
defense,
very out of character.
Yeah, they had some. I know he had a 20-yard gain. So as Calvin would say, take away 20 from 63. They can't do that. I'm joking. I don't know. That's like his rule though. 20 from 63. Now you're looking at 43, and then you're looking at 43. Now we're 11 for 43. Now we're talking, 3.9 yards a carry. But unfortunately, you have to count the 20, and we're talking about 5.3. So the run defense, you want to see him get a little better.
Yep.
They were great. They were
By
great
the way,
last week.
I give the guy credit because he's played even week 1 in the loss, played really, really. I'm gonna say really, really good, but he played good. He wasn't the reason you lost. But Jared Goff so far in his 2 games this year, phenomenal.
How many incompletions does he have in the year?
Well, he had 5 today.
Because last game he barely had any incompletions. They just didn't really because he just kept checking it down.
8 on the year. 8 incompletions in 2 games.
No, that was last game.
No, yeah, he is. Oh.
No,
8 plus 5.
Oh, they didn't do that.
13 in 2 games is pretty
13 in
wild.
2 games is crazy.
I mean, that's an 80% completion percentage.
Yeah.
And look, and that's the thing with Jared Goff is we're not asking him to do much outside of putting the ball in these playmakers' hands, and that's exactly what he's doing, and he's doing it at a very high level. He might be the best in the league at it.
Yeah.
Kind of just being that guy that just to get the ball to these guys, get the ball to J-Mo, get the ball to
even
Amon-Ra. You don't have to do anything too flashy, and he's doing everything, especially this game.
He's very smart.
Yeah, and he's just doing what Johnny Moe and what Ben Johnson asked him to do last year is just kind of be that field general and get the ball in these playmakers' hands. And he's one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league, and he showed that today with an absolutely incredible performance. Like Jeff said, one of his best performances in a Detroit Lions uniform.
Yeah, I thought it was
Easily,
incredible
yeah.
today. I think he looked. That's an MVP performance. And I know it's versus Chicago Bears, but I mean, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had a passer rating of 156. What's a perfect passer rating? Is that
150? Yeah,
perfect passer.
150.
158.3, and he had 156. So like,
damn near a perfect.
He had a
passer
perfect game essentially, and if he, you know what it was too, boys. At the end of the day, like the offensive line looked like the offensive line today. They did.
Yeah.
Like Christian Mahogany.
They were
and Tate, man. Graham wasn't bad. Like they just were dominating up front. And that was like, even when Jared, like how many times do we see Jared Goff just sit in the pocket? And then a couple times he had to move out. He just had so much time to go out there and make plays, man. If the offensive line, and that's why I'm excited kind of the fact that this happened today, because now you know your offensive line, what they can do going into next week. And then like, even for that next Packers game on Thanksgiving, that offensive line is just going to keep getting better, like they're just going to keep growing and growing and growing and getting better. So it's if they're able to do what they did today, that offensive line and that offense, it's only up from here.
And they needed to go. The offensive line needed a home game this week after all the
they needed it
after the miscommunication last week. Lambeau, it was loud. And they go back home into Ford Field, or they could kind of tweak a lot of those things, and they're not getting up to the line of scrimmage with 8 seconds left on the play clock. Like, this is a young old line, and yes, we knew there were going to be hiccups, but today, just what a phenomenal job. I think I've said the word phenomenal 600 times in this postgame show, but that's like the only word
that
you
was
could
the
use
performance.
to describe to all around offense, defense, everything.
Alexander S. Appreciate the 5, my friend. He says, watch red zone on second screen. Goff's accuracy compared to most other quarterbacks is insane.
Yeah.
Just puts it where it needs to be. And those throws to J-Mo too. I mean, those are not easy. Like, those are deep balls.
Yeah, well, there was even the one, I know he threw a little behind, but even they're not always like the perfect accuracy, but he like I think the biggest thing is like he puts his players, the wide receivers, in the spots to make the plays, because there's just times where a quarterback will just incomplete pass on a tough ball, where Jared, those ones that most quarterbacks probably are throwing an incompletion, he's just going to get it to you. And even if it's a duck, I'm getting it to you.
And dude, on those 5-yard Amon-Ra touchdowns too, do you know how many quarterbacks I've seen? And I'm talking about the best too. I'm talking about Mahomes. I'm talking about Allen. I'm talking about these guys. You know how many times I've seen a quarterback just spike that ball into the ground, like at the wide receiver's feet.
But
yeah, but I mean, just everything was there. Everything was working for him today.
Yeah.
That was a vintage, like, all right, Jared Goff's on a roll today.
He
Like,
looked
like
good,
that's
man.
he looked.
Well,
great.
the keys to wisdom says Goff had the 158.3 perfect rating at 3 touchdowns. And then after that, he threw for 100% completion percentage, got 2 more TDs, and it dropped to 156.
Woo.
You see how that doesn't like pass ratings just like sometimes doesn't make a lot of sense.
So I was listening to part of my take. They were actually talking about like QBR, pass rating, all of that. And like Josh Allen, the game that he had, like one of the greatest performances. He threw for like 250 yards in the fourth quarter and like a couple touchdowns for the comeback. His passer rating was like a 70. And it was because when they do it, I guess, if it's in garbage time and players and quarterbacks are making a bunch of throws in garbage time that doesn't count, they don't count that. So essentially,
Which
when
is fair.
during his comeback, the 250 yards, they didn't count any of it because it was they were down by 3 scores and it was garbage time. So it really, honestly, QBR and passer rating, like how much you want to take account, like watch the film. I would say would be more accurate.
People are talking about Terran Arnold struggling today.
Yeah, he had a couple. He had the interception that got called back, but he definitely, there was times he got cooked
In coverage, yeah.
and it was very, very well known. Especially in the first half, there was a couple that it was like,
He's been, I would say, a little on and off. I would say he hasn't been all bad because there's been some plays where you're like, oh, good pass breakup. You know, he's making plays. But then it seems like that's kind of been DJ Reed too, though. I feel like it's both of them. They both haven't been, they're not going to be perfect, but seems like they have bad moments and good moments, each of them.
I think this goes
about
more
equally
for DJ Reed because we even saw with like Terran Arnold, he got beat on that double move by Roma Dunze. That wasn't great. Then got the pass interference on it. But it felt like a lot with DJ Reed, especially these 2 games, is these quarterbacks just have so much time to throw, and you can't be sticky for 8 seconds. You know, Booner can. He's sticky right now with all the Kool-Aid on him. But I mean, you can't stay, you know, step for step with a receiver for 8 seconds when the quarterbacks have all day to throw.
Can we though? Actually, today, the Lions did have 4 sacks today.
They did,
Brian
but they came like, I want to see like a big 3rd down sack in like in the second quarter. You know,
they came in kind of like the third, or when the game was like
Davenport and Hutch both had one. All your edge rushers had a sack today. AQM, Hutch, and Davenport.
And we're good. And Brian had one too. Shout out to Brian.
Is there a Marcus Davenport update?
That's what people were asking.
Yeah,
about
I think
too.
we need a Brian Branch and a Marcus Davenport update.
Let me see if they've said anything. I know Cowboys won, by the way.
Yep.
I don't know.
Chiefs game, Harrison Bucker just missed a field goal.
Oh my gosh. That shot of Ben Walker in slow-mo.
Dude.
Most corniest shot I've ever seen. Purple Prince says we didn't have any situational sacks.
Yeah. A lot of them came late. And that's what I want to see more of. I want to see more of, you know, like I said, like the 3rd down sacks or a 2nd and 9 sack to make it 3rd and long. You know, in big moments. And I you know, when going on the road playing these quarterbacks, example, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Pat Mahomes, all these guys, when you're Jane Daniels, you're going to play some really good quarterbacks this year. And if you're just going to give them all day in the pocket, it's not. I mean,
it's going to be tough for you. It's going to be tough for you, and I think it becomes a little easier when teams are down by 30 points and they're just throwing pretty much every play.
Yeah.
When you're tied in a game or you're down in the game or whatever the case may be, teams aren't. It's going to be a little more harder to get those. So I get that. It's definitely going to be a better test for them. Like I said, the Ravens. That's a great test because you have Derrick Henry and Lamar both mobile. Lamar's throwing the ball well.
Yeah, I mean that Raven.
So
I think
it's a great test.
The Derrick Henry part too, and like
that's a real one too. Yeah.
That's a legit, like one of the best, you know, running backs in the NFL right now.
Yep.
And you got to stop the run, especially if you want to win a Super Bowl.
No question. Like no question at all. The Purple Princes, we might not be playing Burrow actually.
Burrow. You know what? You're right.
Burrow went down.
Yeah. I do think it's good. The next 3, I know like the AFC East or North, I mean, is just a gauntlet of a division. You have 3 of them in the next 3 weeks. You go Ravens, Browns, Bengals.
Yep.
So you have a tough stretch here against one of the tougher divisions. I know people might, the Browns aren't great, this, that. Bengals without Joe Burrow. Like, these are still tough football teams, man. And you're going on the road for 2 of them. And then after that, you follow it up with the Kansas City Chiefs on the road, the Bucks. Like this Lions, the next 5 games for this Lions team. Even after that, the Vikings, the Commanders, the Eagles.
Giants aren't slouches today. They played pretty well.
And then the Packers again, and then the Cowboys. I mean, this is a tough schedule, guys. So good thing today, like you were able to kind of actually. Is that Tank Bigsby?
No, that's AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon. They have AJ Dillon too. Dude.
Yeah.
Jeez, their running back room is insane.
They really do. Let's see.
What? I said they're insane. And he just goes, they really
I think
do.
you said the running back room is insane because it is pretty insane. I mean, they got Tank Bigsby, AJ, and Saquon in there.
And Will Shipley. He's hurt. Will Shipley
He's hurt in there?
Yeah, he's hurt. That's why they went and got Tank.
You slide in Will Shipley in
You
there?
must not know football. Will Shipley.
Oh, my gosh. He was fine at Clemson, all right?
They like him. They were the hell before he got hurt. He was their RB2.
Saquon touchdown.
I almost had him.
He was the
That's fine.
Look, Will Shipley last week, 3 carries, 26 yards, and it wasn't garbage time. They was legit like he was coming in for Saquon.
Shout out Will Shipley, man.
He had a long way. Wait,
he had a 20-yard run.
Who had the long run in the Super Bowl?
Will Shipley.
Was it him?
Yeah, Jeff doesn't know ball, dude. What are we doing here?
Okay.
This guy's like he was only good.
He
at
went to school. Yeah, he went to Clemson, right?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
I was making sure.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about him in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not.
Listen.
Are you an Eagles fan? How do you
know?
know?
No, I just think he's a good running back. Like he's
so
he's
you
a
can
good
know
backup.
things about other teams. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. So it doesn't make you a fan, is what you're saying? Just because you know things
Let's
about
talk
other
about
teams.
those Lions. How did you guys think Shep looked? You guys think the Shep defense looked better today?
I thought in the beginning of the game, and I think as the game went on, it changed a little bit. Just the game script. I thought in the beginning of the game, a lot of blitzes, but I thought you needed that because you weren't getting much pressure from the interior. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I thought Shep did a nice job. I thought he did a nice job last week too, in the second half at least of that Packers game. But I think both coordinators looked very well today.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought they both looked way better than last week. And I do think, honestly, the biggest thing, too, that Johnny Moe. I thought Johnny Moe looked fine today. There was people in the middle of the game that were like, his play calling. There were a couple. And it was the same thing with Ben last year where, like, you're getting explosive plays, but there were definitely moments on, like, a 1st and 10 where it's like, hey, just give the ball to Jameer and D-Mont and let them run it. And they're trying all these different things. And then they're like, you're getting put in these 3rd and long situations and you're not converting. Like, there are definitely moments like that, but I don't think people, like, if you want to go at Johnny Moe, like, dude, I don't know how to overstate this. Hold on. Let me pull this up because I want people to understand this. They scored 52 points, correct? Mm-hmm. In that time, they took out the starters in the 4th quarter. Look at this real quick. 52 points. After the first turnover, the fumble, they punted it. After another turnover on downs, they missed a field goal, got no. So you have two basically turnovers, and you got 0 points out of it. And then you just keep going. Hold on. A turnover on downs touchdown there. But essentially, like, there was multiple times you got a short field and you didn't convert, and you still scored 52, and your starters were out in the 4th quarter. They would have scored 70 on this football team.
Yeah.
70. Like, they would have scored 2 more touchdowns if the starters played or if they convert on one of those.
Yeah, if they didn't take the foot off the gas.
So it's like, what else do you want Johnny Moe to do?
Nothing. Yeah,
he literally
nothing.
Like, there's nothing negative. I don't think you could say outside of maybe a couple play calls here and there. But like that, at that point, you're just getting like.
But even off the top of my head, like I can't even think of one where I was like that play call right there. Like I thought everything was. I mean, in the beginning of the game, maybe the only thing, but I think this is just kind of these were the scripted plays and they worked. So I don't even know why I'm saying this, but going to the play action early before actually establishing the run, maybe that is the only thing, but it worked. So, I mean, I mean, just a great bounce back game from Johnny Moe.
Yeah. Yeah, Johnny Moe, I mean, he damn near did everything perfect today. There's not really much to say about him, to be honest, in a negative light. I mean, him and Kelvin.
Man. The only negative I would say about this whole thing, the whole game, you guys actually said it when we were Caleb, you brought it up when we were talking about like sacks and stuff. Like, you do got to get stops on 3rd down. Mm-hmm. Like the 3rd down situation, they got to figure that out. I don't know what it is, but in the first half when the Bears did get a couple drives going, you had like they just keep having multiple times, and I'm not saying they didn't get third down stops because they did, but they definitely had multiple opportunities to start the game, the first few possessions, where it was like multiple third down stops, and they don't get them, and they, the Bears convert. That was what killed you in that Packers game. That's why you got behind the way you did last week, because the first two possessions versus the Packers, you have 3 or 4 opportunities on third down to get a stop, and you're not doing it. That's the only negative I'll say with defensively and Shep is. They have to figure something out on those third downs.
Yeah, when you play these better offenses and you as a defense, you put yourself in situations where you can get off the field, you have to take advantage of it.
Yes.
Like when you're playing the Chicago Bears, it's like, okay, you give up a first down and Caleb Williams is going to turn the fucking ball over, or DeAndre Swift is going to fumble. But when you play teams like Baltimore and you get those 3rd and 7s, not necessarily that you expect. You need those stops, and I think
especially
maybe
if you have multiple third downs in a one possession. You have to get off on one of them.
And a lot of it, too, like, I don't know if a lot of it, and this is maybe not all of it is scheme. I think a lot of it is, other teams maybe picking on Terrion Arnold a little bit, but that's a guy that has to step up on those third downs, too, is Terrion Arnold.
Yeah, they're going to go at him.
They're going to go at you. And you know that. It's happened your first 2 years in the league. So, those 3rd and 7s or 3rd and 8s and whatever, I mean, you got to come up with the big play.
Yeah, if they can run the ball like they did today, it's going to open up a lot. And I think again, like this Ravens game is going to be a good test for them. And to be honest with you, I'm just happy to see a performance against a team that they were supposed to beat like last year. I mean, they were blowing out teams last year they were supposed to beat, and they did that today. So it looks like the Lions of last year.
Yeah,
which
is good. I think it just gives people a little bit of hope, because the biggest question was, because like you got to think about it, like preseason, everyone's like, the Lions team's not going to make the playoffs. They're going to be worse. They're going to be this, the coordinators. And it was like, then obviously week 1 with the Packers, that really like solidified where a lot of people were like, yep, we were right. I think at least for Lions fans, and at least for us, we just definitely wanted just to be able to see a glimpse. Like, you do have the same roster as last year. Can we just we got to see that glimpse to be able to know that it's still there and that they can go on a playoff run and that they're still a contending team. Today was the confirmation, and that I think a lot of people needed and wanted to see.
Yeah, ETN said, so basically the Packers have the best defense of all time.
Dude, they're
good, man.
Dude, they looked incredible against Washington, and I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm scared of the Green Bay Packers.
They're good, no.
But they're fucking good.
That's why I said earlier
they're
this
good.
week.
And I wouldn't be surprised if I looked at any betting app right now and they're the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Like, I would not.
Let's see.
I would not. I mean,
I bet you the Eagles might be.
Well, they probably are. But if I saw that and I saw Packers at plus 450 to win the Super Bowl, I would not be surprised, because that is a good football team. And when do they play? Thanksgiving? Come Thanksgiving.
All right, let's play the game. Who's number 1?
The Eagles.
Nope. Well, I guess they're tied for first. Yes.
The Packers.
Nope.
The Chiefs.
Nope.
The Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Plus 650. The Eagles and the Bills. Who do you guys think's number or the next team after the Buffalo Bills and the Philadelphia Eagles?
The Ravens.
Ravens are plus 700. 4th team.
Packers.
Plus 750.
There you go.
Who's after that?
The Lions.
The Kansas City Chiefs. Los Angeles Rams. And then the Detroit Lions. The Rams have better odds to win the Super Bowl than the Detroit Lions.
Take a look at those NFC North odds too, because I don't know if they'll be updated, because we did put something on our socials that after last week,
they don't have them up right now.
The Lions were 3rd at plus 450 behind the Vikings and obviously behind the Green Bay Packers. But being 3rd, I know the Vikings beat the Bears on Monday Night Football, but being 3rd there, I don't know. I'm curious to see where those lines move. Obviously, the Packers are still going to be the favorite, but I'm, curious to see what the line for the Lions is after that performance. There's Kelsey over the middle. Let's. Did anybody take anything here?
I did. I took a couple. I have Kelsey 30.
No, I didn't take anything.
I took your guy 15.
Tyquan Thornton.
Yep.
Chat. You know about Tyquan Thornton. He's having himself a game today. I think he's him right there.
Baylor?
Huh?
He went to Baylor. Ran like a 4.3 at the combine.
Yeah, that's him right
Thornton.
there. Give me a deep ball right here to him.
Nope. Because when the Patriots drafted him, I'm like, wow. They just.
I wanted to talk about this too. We talked about it a little bit. The Bears just don't fucking use Colson Loveland. Their
Yeah.
10th overall pick. And I get it, like Cole Kmet is their vet. They extended him. He's been there for a while. But I mean, Ben Johnson's an offensive guy. And this is the first pick of the Ryan Poles ex Ben Johnson regime. And you don't use him like at all. Like I don't think he was targeted one time.
No,
so are they just like waiting for Cole Kmet to what?
They don't respect young players, I guess, or like rookies.
Yeah, I
Because
mean,
it's the same thing with Burden. I mean, he hasn't earned it either.
yeah, I mean, they didn't. Well, I think Burden's a little bit different. I mean, because I think Loveland's a better player.
But I think they're just being super patient with both of them, I guess. I don't know. Well, I'm saying even Loveland, like they just aren't getting him involved as much. Like when they had the backups in, he was in. They're like, all right, get him reps. Like
Jeff,
they're just being patient with him, which I don't get either. I mean, you should be able to use your first round tight end. You should be getting targeted 5 times a game, 4 times a game.
All jokes aside, and don't make any jokes. No jokes?
No joke. I'm not making a joke.
No jokes. How do you think Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and the Bears look today?
They look terrible. The Bears look like shit.
Like the offense, like the
I
flow of
think
the
last
offense.
week
Everything.
and this week both. They do not look good. Caleb, I told Jeff this week. We actually had the conversation, and he actually agreed with me. There is a worry with Caleb Williams. He can't process. He struggles. He can make throws.
I think the talent's there.
That's what we said this week. It's like he's talented. Everything's there. He can run. He can throw all that. But like he has trouble processing. And then yes, like I said, he makes throws, but he also misses like wide open players too. So like, even today, like he made some good throws today. It wasn't like he didn't. He threw for 200 yards. I guess it's not great, but it's just about like, I don't know, dude. He can't process the NFL game, it feels like.
I guess maybe how did the Bears look was not the right wording of the question because they just lost by 30. But I guess just Caleb Williams specifically.
Do I think that by the end of the year there'll be more? Yeah, like I think.
Huh?
I said they'll be
Run
more
the tapes.
They'll be more confident. Yeah, I do. I'm not saying it's like over in 2 games. Ben Johnson regime's a failure.
What would make you think that it's
wow,
that it would be time for them to like not move on, but like, hey, maybe he is not the guy. Like how far in?
I would say
not winning.
They're not going to give up on him until like probably another 2 years. If he stinks for another 2 years,
Like they play the Cowboys this week. What if they 0-3 and then they play the Raiders? What if they lose versus the Raiders and they're sitting at 0-4 going into the Commanders game? You're sitting there going, what's happening?
I mean, now we're talking. I don't know. Like hypothetically, yeah.
there.
If they keep losing,
Zadarius Smith. Gotta say.
Oh,
it wouldn't be great. And Zadarius
Smith
just got a sack
for the Philadelphia Eagles.
And then
on Patrick Mahomes.
Of course he did.
Man, that's disappointing. I just think like it's one thing, and actually, like when I was listening to the pregame show with Dan Miller, they had a Bears reporter from ESPN on there, and she had brought up, and it was actually a good point. The thing with Ben, where everyone's like, Ben goes in there and he's like, hey, me taking this team over is better when I became the OC when we started 1-6 in Detroit. That was his kind of thought, and he told them like, hey, we're coming in to compete this year. And I think him saying that to the Bears fan base and him saying that to media of like, hey, they're going to compete this year, like you're expected to win games and be in games. They had a chance in the first half versus the Vikings, and they looked horrid in the second half versus the Vikings and blew that game. Today they get blown out. If you play the Cowboys at home this week and you look bad again, and then you go on the road to the Raiders and you lose, like your head coach told you were going to compete. And then at the same time, and she brought this up as well, she was like, the only problem is he says that, but then at the same time, Ben Johnson also is like, but it's going to take time for us to get this thing together. And
yeah,
she's
he got
like,
way too excited.
And she's like, which one is it? Because now you told the fan base both things. Like you're playing both sides of it. And she was like, that's where maybe Bears fans might get a little too impatient, because Lomas asked her like, how much time and like how patient will Bears fans be? And she was like, well, when you tell them, 1, they're going to be competing to win, and then 2, it's going to take time. What are you doing in Chicago there? Like, there's no expectations at that point. And Bears fans, like, I bet you after today, Bears fans are going crazy that they didn't even just compete with the Lions. And I know it was like, it's the Lions and we know how good they are. But when you tell your fan base you have a good enough team to come in and compete throughout the season, and you lose by 30 and give up 52 points defensively, and you blow a game at home, in primetime last week. Like those are two. That's such a
tough,
bad
yeah.
start.
It's the worst way to start.
And I know he's a rookie head coach, so you are going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But like that's where with Caleb. Like I said it this week with Caleb Williams. You had how many possessions in the second half? 6, 7. I mean, maybe not 6, but like you had a million possessions to close the game out.
Not 6, but a million. No,
Yeah.
I'm joking. I'm
Not
joking.
so you had a million possessions though. You had a million possessions
kidding,
to close
yeah.
the game out.
Yes.
And he didn't even go down and get a field goal. And like that's where it's like as your quarterback, like Ben Johnson can call all the plays he wants, do everything he can. And I know he made mistakes. He said he did. But as a quarterback, especially a leader of a team, like you got to be able to calm your team down and be like, get them together and like, hey, we're gonna have a game-winning drive here. And he just never did it. And JJ McCarthy did it, who hasn't played a game in the NFL yet. And then this game today, like he couldn't figure things out. And then your defense gives
You
up
start
52.
to notice too that Ben Johnson, like the stuff people would say when he was here, the cute play calling. He was whipping out some cute plays, dude. There are some plays where we were sitting here going, "What?"
And they didn't.
Like
they didn't
the double hit. What do you do with the DeAndre Swift?
Yeah.
There's like an end around, a double end around, and they faked it, and they went like for
crazy.
2
But
yards.
the thing with the Lions is like when he did it here, we just have so much talent where it worked most of the time.
Yeah.
right.
Here, it's like, hey, you giving the ball to DeAndre Swift and faking a handoff to fucking whoever, Joe Smith, someone.
Yeah.
It's just not going to work that way.
It's not the same.
But
Oh,
I mean, I thought in the beginning of the game, I thought the scripted plays looked fine from Ben Johnson. I thought they looked pretty good.
I can't watch Darius, man.
But I mean, after that, it was like,
I'm sorry, Caleb. Serious. I can't watch this.
yeah,
it
no,
hurts
that
my
was
soul.
tough. That was
It hurts
tough.
my soul to watch Za'Darius Smith sack Mahomes.
And you know what down that was on?
Third
That's a third down sack right there.
down
Hey,
stop.
hey. We're good.
We're good.
Well, I'm interested in this Marcus Davenport thing, dude.
Well, he got a sack. He got a sack today, and then he got hurt on the sack.
On the
which I mean,
sack.
how do you can't even make that shit up? But I think he came back.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Dallas
yeah.
Cowboys are signing free agent edge rusher Jadeveon Clowney
Clowney.
per Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones in post game just goes, "Hey, we're bringing Jadeveon in."
He's such an attention whore, man. Of course, he
Literally,
he,
it's all just
he
per
wants to
Jerry
announce
Jones.
it. I mean, come on, Jerry. It's a good signing though for the Cowboys. Good for them.
Yeah, it's
It's a Cowboy signing. Just grab Clowney off the street. Yeah, that sounds like the Cowboys. What
It's
a
a Jerry Jones
hey,
move
what a
right there.
performance today, boys.
Yep.
I mean, that was just a hell of a performance from the Lions. I mean,
I'm happy we're back.
This is a
in the
good
win
one, man. We are
column.
back, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate that out of you. That was fun. We had some
Needed-
bets
needed.
today. Booner did his Kool-Aid Chug, which, by the way, follow us on all social media. You should be already checking out those. Official CT Sports on Instagram, Official CT Pod on Twitter, Official CT Sports on everything else. Official Crunch Time on TikTok. So give us a follow. Go watch the Kool-Aid Chug. And you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Watch some ball. Enjoy Lions win. We'll be live tomorrow. I'll be live tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then we'll be live at 8 p.m. So be there.
I love you guys. Lions, man.
We're back.
Okay. Until then.
Hold on. Not until then. Wait a second. Hold on. Watch this. You guys want to see something cool?
Magic trick.
Maybe not.
Oh.
All right. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Maybe not a magic trick.